Alright, in this video we're going to cover how to read your policyholder's information in Impact for their policy review, so you know what to put into the needs analysis survey. So the policy we have in front of us is a full package. They have all of our products. So this has a majority of the policy codes that you're going to find. So first off, we know this person has whole life. So they have their final expenses covered. We know this with this policy code in the middle for $30,000 of coverage. It says WLR3FN. We don't care too much about some of these numbers in this combo, like the R3FN, doesn't matter too much. But because we see WL, we know that this is a whole life coverage. So you may see other whole life coverages with different combos. Could be WLR5FN or STWLR4. It could be anything random, but because we see WL, we know this is whole life. So next, we know that this person has an accidental death benefit. Just underneath, we see the policy code ADB. This person has $200,000 if they died in an accident as well. So I know I can give them $100,000 more. Now, next coming down below here, we see term ill. A lot of people at first think that this is term coverage. However, this is not coverage itself. It does not add any coverage to their plan. This is the terminal illness rider. So what this does, depending on the state, Connecticut says 1 year or less. Massachusetts says if the client is diagnosed with 2 years or less to live, they can take up to half of this coverage amount out in cash and use it for whatever they may need it for, whether it be medical treatment or whatever else. The remainder will still be paid to the family. So again, that is a terminal illness rider. It is not coverage. It does not add coverage to their plan. It allows them to use that money if they are terminally ill. The next rider we have below here is the GIO. So, also important to know again, this rider does not add any additional coverage to their plan. The GIO states that they have 7 option dates over the course of their life to purchase an additional $25,000 of whole life coverage with no farther medical questions asked or no farther evidence of insurability. They are guaranteed to be insured for that coverage. This can be advanced upon marriage, birth or adoption of children, or purchase of a home. So again, does not add coverage, allows them to add coverage with no medical questions asked in the future. Next, we have these 2 little codes here that say WP. These are also riders. This is your waiver of premium rider. So these do not add coverage to the plan, again, but they waive the premiums for the coverage specific to that rider for this plan. So you'll see we have 2. One for $30,000. This waives the premiums for the $30,000 of whole life, and then one for $117,000. This waives the premiums for the $117,000 they have of term coverage or income protection typically. So again, this one STRC10FN. We don't care too much about what's in front or what's at the end, but in the middle here TRC10 tells us that this is term, which is renewable and convertible, and is good for 10 years. So again, term, renewable, convertible, and then the number will tell you how long this term policy is good for, because there's different kinds. So most will be the 10-year, like we see here. For example, we have another one here, which is a 4-year term policy. Again, and the numbers at the beginning or end are different now, NTRC4FN, but the TRC4 tells us this is term, renewable, convertible for 4 years. So again, a majority of the time it'll be for 10 years. You may see a 4-year plan. You may also see a 20-year plan, or even a term for 15 years or 30 years. Lastly, this code here, STLCH, this is the children's rider. So that code stands for Standard Term Life Child. These are typically $10,000 of coverage and covers each child in the home. So I know that this person has children. So just to recap, the coverage, this person has $30,000 of whole life. Because they're young, I'm going to try to get them more whole life. I'm going to try to get them to $50,000. If they've made more income, they're going to need more income protection. And I know that I can still offer them an additional $100,000 of ADB, because the max is $300,000. I also know that I can now offer Head Start policies for each child, which is a whole life policy for each child. Now for the billing, over on the left side here, we have special billing, monthly billing, quarterly billing, semi-annual, and then annual billing. So your client can either pay monthly, quarterly, or annually. Most of the time it's going to be monthly. But now the monthly billing that we see here is what their policy would cost for them to bill it by the mail if they paid their policy in the mail every month. About 99% of the time, your client's going to be on the automatic bank draft option. So they actually get a discount for that electronic payment. So your client actually pays the special billing amount for their monthly premium. So to recap, again, this person has about a total of about $350,000 of coverage, and they pay about $90 a month. Now going in, I know my game plan, more whole life, hopefully more income protection. I know I can offer more accidental, and I know I can offer Head Starts for the children as well.